Unheard message.
Hey, George, what's up? Kevin here. Thought I'd get a little something going, so I just wanted to call and say that I will do Solaris better than you. And I expect to see you in full fucking Solaris form on fucking Monday or Tuesday night to make this recording, man. I'm going to watch both fucking movies, and I'm going to come in there and prove whatever I decide to prove about Solaris. I hope you're well, asshole.
End of message.
Busy daddies do sci-fi. Busy daddies do sci-fi. Busy daddies do sci-fi. Busy daddies do sci-fi.
All right. So there's that.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good morning.
I'm George.
I'm Kevin.
Welcome to Busy Daddies Do Sci-Fi.
Mm-hmm.
So,
A lot of hype on this episode on the internet, man.
yeah, there's some talk, man. We kind of failed in our mission a little bit because
There you go.
our original idea was I was going to watch Solaris from 1972. You were going to watch Solaris from 2002.
Yeah.
We were going to, like, duke it out.
Yeah.
And we both ended up watching both of them.
I just felt it was the best thing to do.
Yeah.
It turns out, by the way, George, that we were not the only people to think that comparing both Solarises would be massive content when it came to the internet.
Who else jumped on the bandwagon?
People
People did?
People, yeah, like if you Google Solaris, it just shows up.
We
Yeah.
didn't come up with this.
Film critics from the...
Oh.
What's the one guy with the glasses that had that long-running film show?
Would that be Roger Ebert?
Or Ebert, yeah. Bert and Siebert. Cisco. Yeah.
Which one is dead?
Maybe he talked a little about it. Maybe wrote an essay or
They're
something.
both dead, aren't they? Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean, it's, of course, when you have something, because, correct me if I'm wrong, but Solaris 1972 is billed as sort of like one of the major adornments of science fiction.
When you Google that, you find that out.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of felt that way about the movie anyways, and so it didn't surprise me that it's like in the top 100.
Because I had no experience with it before your suggestion. I knew about a year ago I had watched the George Clooney one when we first started doing Busy Daddies.
Did you ever mention it?
It was hard to get a word in.
Edgewise. Yeah.
Every now and then.
This is Solaris. Yeah, with the pie plates clanking.
Clanking.
Yeah.
Hey, what else we got? Solaris in the background. And
It's
I'll
the name
wait
of
till
a pie
next week.
at Coco's. The
Can I
Solaris.
get the Solaris with a scoop of vanilla ice cream, please?
shut the
And
fuck
maybe,
up.
guys, could you not clean the grease traps? We don't have to worry about that anymore.
No.
Yeah, we don't have to
We've
live that
arrived.
way, man. We've arrived.
With
Man,
seltzer. Flavored seltzer. Is this Black Mountain Berry or Badusi?
No, it's not Badusi. Badusi's expensive, man. I can't.
It is.
It's
Shit, it's organic,
Yeah.
too. Organic.
Yeah, it's big in Highland Park. Organic. That's funny. And disgusting at the same time.
Yeah, don't Google that. Unlike Googling Solaris.
Unlike Googling
Google
Solaris,
image Badusi, why don't you?
which will show you that 1972 Solaris, directed by Tarkovsky. Does the guy have a first name?
It is. It's Stanley Tarkovsky.
Its go-to Russian name. Let's say it's Ivan.
I think
we might
it
not
is.
be wrong.
I think it is.
We might not
No,
be wrong.
it's Andre because it's like Andre
right.
Rublev.
You're right. It's Andrei
Yes.
Tarkovsky. The only movie of his that I recognized and had not seen was Stalker.
Yes. Which is a trilogy, which all tips the hat to Andrei Rublev.
So he's like a master. This guy's known as like one of the masters of filmmaking, Russian.
Yeah, so there was when in the 90s when we rented VHS tapes, there was a place in Austin that we'd go to in South Austin, and Tarkovsky is known in such a way that we had asked about a flick, and the guy at the counter looked at his other buddy, and he said something like, "Well, it doesn't truck along like a Tarkovsky film."
Oh, okay. Yeah. It's like if you like cult movies but you haven't seen Jesus Christ Vampire Hunter. It's like, you gotta see Tarkovsky.
Mm-hmm.
I worked at a DVD shop in West LA called name withheld for legal reasons. Well, they're not there anymore. Fucking Laser Blazer. Called Laser Blazer because it's been there since Laserdiscs.
Was that the first felony? Was Laser Blazer? Was that? No, never.
My first felony didn't quite truck along like a Tarkovsky move. But I was talking to the guy, and he the guy who hired me, and he goes, name your top 5 favorite movies, and I rattled 5 off, and he goes, wow, no Russian flicks in there? And it was then that I realized I was in like a new level of film snob douchebaggery.
So Andrei Rublev is a wonderful movie about the icon painter, a Russian priest, named Andrei Rublev. Also has an awesome black horse in it.
Is that a
So
car?
that's going on. No, it's a horse. Like the horse.
It's a
You don't remember a
horse.
horse in the movie Solaris? That happened.
I remember a horse, yeah.
Yeah.
It's not black.
Is it not like dark as charcoal? You think it was a black horse?
There's a black
Back
horse
then,
in
yeah.
Solaris?
Yeah, that's on Earth, people.
All right. Or is it?
Fade out.
Wow. All
Yeah.
right, we just wrapped
Well,
that up.
I don't think it's that.
You could.
That kind of actually that throws me off at the end because I take it much more literally.
You could. It's totally viewer interpretation, which I love. You could go, well, now I need to look at this entire movie a little differently. And based on that last shot, you could go, all right, well, this whole thing, how many constructs were there? How many people were a creation of Solaris? Because are we seeing simply the Solaris version of the home with his dad, or were we seeing the Solaris version in the beginning of the movie as well? Personally, I don't think so. But I think it's out there. It's out there, and you can.
Well, and so, listener, George and I know that you watch both these movies to stay up with us.
If you didn't, press pause right now and take 90
9 hours.
Take 90 minutes
plus
to watch
2
the
hours and
2006
2 hours and 46 minutes.
246.
Yep.
Which is a problem I had with it.
Well, and that's clearly why you didn't get the job at that place
I did
that
get
you
the job,
stole
all
from
right?
the cash register.
No, I didn't steal from the cash register.
Yeah.
I just stopped showing up.
Oh,
okay.
yeah. I'll show you guys what Russian film's all about. See? Now he's not there.
I only had
It
to
actually is a space ghost kind of story.
I only had
isn't
to
it?
work like 15 hours a week too, and I just stopped going.
Yeah.
But
Did you keep any?
here's the thing.
Did you keep any of the tapes? Do you have like one cassette from them
No,
still?
no, I didn't. I was pretty good about. Oh, I did have a few, and I like dropped them in. No, you know what? I do. I still have one. I still have a copy of the movie Go. Holy shit!
Go by who?
Did you ever see Go?
Is that another Russian?
No,
flick?
no. It's a mid-90s independent movie. It's got a Sarah Polley. Who else?
Is it by the guy who made The Cook, The Thief, His Wife and Her Lover?
No, not along those lines.
Was it by the guy who made Tie Me Up, Tie Me Down?
No.
No?
You're way off.
That's the only foreign things I know. Is it foreign?
No.
Oh, well, no, it doesn't count. It doesn't count.
Oh,
man.
it doesn't count
Yeah,
then.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
right.
yeah.
Kevin doesn't like black and white movies and only watches color movies if they're in a different language.
Yeah, but I can list my top 5 black and white movies if I need to get a job at Laser Blasters.
Laser Blazer, you
Yeah.
ignorant fuck.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Anyway,
So listener,
Anyway.
we you know
It could
the plot
have-
lines of these.
it could have been trimmed a bit.
Go.
No.
Oh.
Solaris.
No, well, so there was an edit, but no. See, you're out of your league, Donnie.
No. Out of your element, Donnie, is the quote.
Yeah.
But
20,000 leagues. See, 20,000. All right.
But no, certainly.
What do you mean? What do you mean? That's okay. These are the kind of things that
I don't mind a
you're
long
watching
movie.
something that's 2 hours and 46 minutes. There is no. It could have been clipped.
I don't mind a long movie at all. There's some stuff in it that is deliberately boring. Because he's trying.
Because that's what he woke up and he said. I will.
It's absolutely.
We will make a deliberately. Does this sound Russian?
Yeah.
What's a Russian sound like?
Duh.
Deliberately boring.
Deliberately boring. I'll make it.
No way.
I think that this is the type of filmmaker that has like guys who are really, really passionate about him, and you gotta in a way kind of earn that by getting over some. I think
I'm going to say a word that's going to reframe this whole thing for you, and you're not going to like it. They're meditations, dude. So
I get what you're saying.
Well, then,
But it doesn't change my genuine reaction to some of the stuff in that movie was we're on this shot a little too long.
I don't get that. I mean,
That's
I
fine.
guess you're an auteur,
That's fine.
and somewhere you have a clipping floor.
Or
you have,
or
what
or
is
I'm just a
it's
human
negatives on
being-
the room or the cutting room
Or
floor?
just a
The
human
cutting room.
being with an opinion that this was a beautiful
About
movie.
filmmaking?
A beautiful
Yes,
movie.
I'm not saying that
Absolutely.
you don't love it. I can tell you love it.
I did enjoy that. I enjoyed the hell out of this movie, and this is only after today watching the 2002 version and having both of them. Because if we were having this conversation yesterday, I
Yeah.
would have taken the easy road
Yeah.
and gone, this was boring.
Yeah.
And
Up
it was
until
kind of
just
a piece
now,
of
I
shit.
really was going to out Solaris you, and now you're all changing your tact.
No, man, not changing the
I
tact.
mean, there's no tension here if you go and get to
I
my
had-
side because my opinion's better.
Here's the thing: it would have been easy. It would have been too easy to simply go, "This movie's boring," and not the 2002 version. Watching that shed light on some things that I feel like I willfully ignored watching the 1972 movie.
Okay, so
If that makes
in
sense.
2002, Steven Soderbergh.
Soderbergh.
Soderbergh? There's
Soder-
not. It's a
Soder-
softo.
Soderbergh.
It's a softo.
Excuse me. Jesus.
It's a Soderbergh.
Steven Soderbergh.
Yeah, an auteur to his own right.
Yeah.
He gets Clooney and Clooney's butt. You know, as I was watching, I was like, Clooney knows people think he's so sexy that he's just like, he's like shaping up just to like be doing those shots just to like make nipples hard or something.
It's pretty smug.
Yeah, nonetheless, it's pretty cool that he's
But-
in it.
Yeah.
And they do a twist,
They do a twist.
but it kind of could be. I don't know. It doesn't matter.
That movie.
What happened? What happened to you, George?
All right.
Does anyone need to know what this movie is about yet?
This is a good question. We should at some point maybe go.
Okay, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it.
Go
Wait,
ahead.
I'm gonna do it. Timer's on. I'm gonna do
Timer's
it
on.
in 15 seconds. Here we go. There is a planet called Solaris. They've been researching there. They fire X-ray photons into it. It starts interacting with the minds of the scientists. Things from out of their consciousness appear. They are neutrinos. Bye.
That was 15 seconds. I don't know how good a summation it was because you failed to mention everything about the everything. Like this.
All right,
his wife.
you 15 seconds on the clock.
Okay.
Finish the job. Hold on, wait, and go.
Okay, so they are doing research on this planet called Solaris. It's a vast ocean
already
planet,
said
and the ghosts that are being sent from this planet
They're
to
called guests.
seemingly terrorize the. I'm not good at this. Wow. Okay. Dead wife.
You left out
Dead wife.
seemingly terrorized.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, well, the whole journey of humanity that occurs throughout, like all right. Let me step back a second, and let me tell you.
Where you were going.
Let me
somewhere
tell
with
you
that,
what
I could tell.
happened. Let me tell you what happened to me. I watched the 1972 version, and I formulated kind of a shitty opinion. All right,
You?
I did.
No. No.
I went, this is trying way too hard to be 2001 with very Kubrickian.
Kubreskian.
Is that his Russian name? Kubreski.
Kubreskian.
Comrades, I almost said Senor Kubreski.
Yeah.
And that's not fair. It wasn't fair. And then I watched the 2002 version, and I started picking up pieces from the 1972 version that I really, really liked. To contrast the things that I did not like about because I still didn't like the 2002 version very much. I thought it was it was too quick. I know, and I know I said it was too quick. What
are you, Goldilocks? This one's too quick. That one's too long.
That's good. Yeah. Goldilocks planet.
One that's made in like 1994. What's the
99?
So 72.
2002.
What's the one? The one that's made in between 72 and 2002 is the one you love.
That's the one I love, man.
Yeah.
That's the porridge, baby.
Yeah.
You want to eat that up?
No, I think that was called Return of the Jedi.
What was wrong with Return of the Jedi?
I'll talk about that.
Okay, yeah, because you don't know.
Nothing. There's nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with
We don't
that.
do Star Wars in this podcast. People already think we smell like diapers.
I kind of do.
I bet you do. Yeah.
I have remnants of poop on me. I have a 7-week-old.
Going for pink eye.
Anyway, 2001's entire story hinged on humanity going out, right? Like the going into outer space, you know what I'm talking about?
Because Solaris is the inside job.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right. So
Right.
it's going inward.
So the Clunes
didn't do it for me, man.
It was a movie.
Yeah. I think
And to watch
when I first saw it, I was expecting a really cool sci-fi movie. And it didn't even really have to be a sci-fi movie. Like, the sci-fi elements get us there, but it was much more of like a character drama, and it was lacking all of the exploration of humanity that the Tarkovsky version hinged on. Like the love, God is in there. The idea that like these people are what our memories are is the one thing that the 2002 version I felt had over the 1972 version. The 2002 version talks about how like he remembers her differently than she was.
Yes.
You know, like, so she's suicidal because he remembers her that way.
I just think that's heavy-handedness. That's all there in the first one.
Yeah?
I know it. I mean, I weigh in that Solaris, the first one, is comfort food for me. I hadn't seen it in some years. To watch the 2002 version reminded me of its cool elements. Like, they have guests, and someone's kid's up there running around, and they try and kill these things, and they come back, and they regenerate, and
the scene
Clooney, or the character in the first one, is a psychologist sent up there to investigate the phenomenon that's occurring to the scientists, the crew of now 2 that are left. His buddy has sent him a message, and by the time he arrives, has killed himself. And the guests, I remember, come to Clooney's dead wife comes, and I remembered, I was like, oh yeah, they're kind of stupid. They sort of kind of figure out themselves first.
They
which
don't
is the
have,
wrong word, but that was just me on the couch
Yeah.
saying it to go, oh, these are the rules that were set up in this book and then the movie I saw originally.
They seem like blank slates a little. Like they don't have the memories of who they were. They're kind of echoes of what this
like, how did
person
we get
remembered.
here? Where's the dog?
Yeah.
And that stuff was just kind of a little, like, in the 2002 version, like, Clooney goes way overboard to want to stay and live with her, even though she self-actualizes and says, I'm from the Solaris, man. I'm not
this
the
person.
wife.
Yeah.
And then the twist is Clooney comes back to Earth, And
Okay, but does he? Because his wound heals.
which means he's on Earth, but he got one got back. In the Soderbergh version, they talk about what if one got back. We can't let these things get back. And there's a much more scary alien presence. I never worry in the original Solaris that something's got to come back.
There's never a they might be malicious even idea.
Yeah.
In the other than maybe like the torment that they could provide to us being what we remember them, but like the endings of the two are where I felt like they completely diverge as movies. Because, you know, like you've got the 1972 version, which is we are on we're on an island. He is in the home, his childhood home, with his father. His father is present. It is raining.
Which is
in
awesome.
the home, which is an awesome stuff. There's, again, beautifully made fucking movie. They pull out, and you see that this island is on Solaris. So, and then the 2002 version is a bit more ambiguous. There's a bit more like the line about how everything we've done, we've forgiven each other for. You could read it that he's back on Earth. He's this, or that he died on the when the ship, and that this is his replacement, or that he is still on Solaris. I thought both were left to a lot of interpretation.
I take them very literally, and so to have the Russian one back out and be an island on it, I actually felt like that was his one stunt. However, he does not seem like the kind of guy who does that. He really came down on 2001 for it not accomplishing a psychological profile, even though Kubrick had already looked up to Tarkovsky for other stuff he did, which is why you hear on the streets this was the anti-2001 or the Russian 2001, like, yeah, this is what they do when they take potatoes and turn it into movie film, man. Oh, those poor bastards, and like, oh yeah, it's a potato camera.
I actually was.
They take a potato camera.
I was reading something, and they were saying it was entirely possible that he did see 2001 at the Moscow Film Festival, but that other than that, he wouldn't have had a tremendous amount of access to, like, 2001. So it's not necessarily like he saw the movie and aped it or anything like that.
I don't think that's not even in his league.
Yeah.
It's not even there. I think that's for the people who are the critics of it. A cool aspect of it is you don't know who your guests might be, and in the Russian version, there's a scientist in each version who is studying and staying very kind of literal, and then there's another scientist who has more kind of lost it and is rolling with it. A little bit
more batty. Yeah.
And the one who's lost it said, well, at least yours is your wife, something you recognize. Because there's like a midget that pops out. Yeah. There are elements you don't know what Solaris is going to pick out of your head. Chris, the psychologist, actually just gets the wife.
Yeah.
Cool details, too. So her injection into her arm, how she killed herself, is there.
The scene where she comes back to life after drinking liquid oxygen in the Tarkovsky version is kind of chilling.
Yeah, and they do that, and that's what's so here.
That's
Soderbergh does all these things, so he does a cover, if you will, of the movie to use like music terms. He plays a cover of a cool standard, but I don't know why you do this if you're Soderbergh. I'm sure he's been interviewed. I'm sure I could have read it. I did not, but
why do you do it? In general,
well, I play covers of music to be closer to the thing.
But
So
this is not. I don't know the story. My feeling is these are not things that Soderbergh goes to whatever Paramount and says, "Hey, I want to remake Solaris." This is like, we have a sci-fi vehicle with George Clooney. What can we do? Hey, how about we do Solaris? Like, this is how those types of movies, those like recognizable title, built-in audience.
But
equals C.
Solaris, see, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Clooney is maybe the vehicle and the draw all in one. Solaris is maybe known. I mean, we have 3 listeners? You know, and just kind of an example, I mean, we are one of the highest ranking sci-fi podcasts on iTunes with 3 subscribers. It just goes to show that sci-fi, you know, is not so known, and Solaris.
It took us a while to accept that 256 Instagram followers for a sci-fi podcast is actually pretty good.
Huge, man. like George and I are both wearing gear that people sent us, man, and these spacesuits, they're warm. And I'm tired of drinking my distilled urine, but I'm flattered. I am flattered that they were sent to us.
I'm not. I love it. I do it even when I don't have to anymore.
Strangely,
I remember I was reading this thing about the remake they did of Dawn of the Dead, and Zack Snyder, who remade this movie, he had gone to whatever studio it was with a fresh zombie movie, like written by Shane Black. Written by James Gunn, who directed Guardians of the Galaxy. Brand new movie. And they said, "Oh, wow, this is great. You know what we should do? We should remake Dawn of the Dead." And they just slapped the title Dawn of the Dead on it. Repackage a few things. Hey, this has got to take place in a mall now. And this has got to change to this and everything. And I feel like that's possibly something that happens, is you go with hey, I got this ghost space story that I want to do. Oh, you know what? That's a great idea. You know what we should do? Remake Solaris.
I mean, and so what? I find myself asking, like, why? I mean, we don't really know, and it happened. For entertainment value, I enjoyed watching Solaris 2002 because I like Solaris 1972.
I enjoyed watching Solaris 2002 because it showed me how good Solaris 1972 was when I was very quick to write it off as boring, overly melodramatic, and intentionally so, and knowing that there's craft there, and knowing that this guy is doing what he's doing. But
you should put it in context. You should watch some of the other flicks by that guy.
I need to.
Well, I mean, it might just. Well, I don't know. Who cares? They're great. They're great movies.
You do.
Not enough to do that. I want to say that there's some really cool things. There's a point when in the Russian version, they the doctor, who's kind of Fruit Loops, has a birthday party, and because the guests are all around, the 2 scientists are already there, sort of accept what's going on. So the dead wife gets invited, and they have a birthday party, and he shows up an hour and a half late drunk, and they have a big dramatic scene. There are these great pictures by Bruegel on the walls, and, you know, in the total Russian sense, I mean, you get Faust, Dostoevsky, and they read from The Man of La Mancha, all in it. I mean, these are things, you know, that's the level Tarkovsky's playing on. But after that scene, in passing, the scientist said, "We're going to switch orbits at 5 a.m. You'll have 30 seconds of weightlessness." And so in this library on this spaceship, where they can smoke in the spaceship, there's lit candles. It's kind of really cool how the atmosphere is suspended. And then at 5 a.m. it hits, and just this candlestick starts floating through this thing. And there's just really peaceful, meditative spaces that go on
for 12 minutes.
Oh, it's so comfortable to me, man. It's so awesome.
And I think that is awesome. That you can derive that enjoyment from it. I was just kind of like, all right, man, let's. And I'm this. You know, I love a long movie that keeps me engaged.
Like what?
Like, all right. Let's see. Lawrence of Arabia. I'm trying to think.
Is
long
that black
movies
and white?
after- No, not at
No,
all.
I've seen that's Peter O'Toole.
I mean,
Eyes.
you know, like modern day would be something like, I mean, most action movies now are 2.5 hours plus. Like, you know, the Avengers, not Transformers, Star Wars: The Force Awakens. Let's see, movies that had an intermission. Any of Tarantino's movies that are 2 hours plus. 2001, I still think is riveting as hell. You know, and has a little bit of what you say is meditative, but it's also movement and a little bit more bombastic, a little bit more like creative than a shot of plants in water for 2.5 minutes.
See, that stuff's awesome.
But I don't deny it looks beautiful. I don't deny that at all, and I don't deny that there's an audience that looks at that and goes, "That is fucking gorgeous." I'm not that audience, is it?
Well, so after it's gorgeous, then it's
I'm talking storytelling is what I'm
and
talking
then it's
about.
the space lets you engage with it. So it's gorgeous and it's a shot made by a filmmaker, and then it's going on longer, and then you realize you're looking at Earth, but this is a space movie, and then you realize that not only that, we're going to spend some time on Earth and this man's family home before we get to space. And then for me, that's when I see real purpose. And I don't think it's whimsical or capricious that these things are being done like this. Not that you said that, but yeah, it's just
there's intention and craft.
It's like, yeah, it's. I mean, that horse. So there's that black horse, and Andrei Rublev. There's a black horse that's rolling on this deep green grass. But you go through 3 hours of Andrei Rublev before there's a punchline. That punchline, I'm going to tell you, folks, is color. And then in Snout, the kind of lost it scientist, there's the drawing of a black horse in his office. There's Andrei Rublev's one of his prints that appears in the spaceship, and I just like that. We're playing on levels that are rich, man. At the same time, you're sitting in space, and here we are, podcasting about it years later.
It's. I mean, I check out of most friggin' Godard movies too, and
well, those are just Godarded.
We can't say that anymore, man. Can't say that.
That was that letter. That was that
That's
letter we
not
got.
Cool, man. That was actually a handwritten letter that we got.
Yeah,
from a Godarded person.
I was about to say it was done in crayon.
It was done in crayon, red crayon,
bright red,
bright red, like a balloon.
Yeah,
it's beautiful.
like a balloon beautiful. Flying slowly. Did you notice there was prints of hot air balloons throughout?
Yeah. So those are in Andrei Rublev. So I mean, one of the main themes I took away from this was kind of like both versions are what is a person that you love? Like, she's there. He knows she's dead. He knows that is. But what the hell? I mean, what is a person beyond what we know of them, what we feel about them? Like deeper things about just like love and humanity and spirituality that wouldn't normally find home in a science fiction movie. And those were the things that I kind of wrapped myself in, was the ideas behind this movie. Because, all right, I gotta say, it gives you the time to marinate in the feeling of it all. Like, it gives you the time and the space to actually feel a little uncomfortable. And that's why I say that I know this is, a genuine response, and filmmaking that elicits a genuine response is usually quality filmmaking. So I'm not saying bad film. All I'm saying is, thought it could have used somebody like me.
Somebody like me, floating on by, thumbs up in the camera, smoking in space, because you can smoke in space. Yeah.
Way to go, Andre.
You read about these things and they talk about these ideas. So one thing I did is I have never read Stanislaw Lem's Solaris, and he thinks, though he worked a little bit with Tarkovsky on it, he thinks Tarkovsky got it wrong. He doesn't address our inability to connect to the extraterrestrial element, which was where he weighed in on it.
There's a bit of like we're lost
but
to
still,
it.
they all everyone comes back to it's still sex in space, sex and love in space.
Yeah, completely.
And I don't. What you mentioned and stuff, I don't get by watching it. I'm not like, oh, who is a person? To me, I think there's something really detached about it. I mean, they're both movies. They're pretty cool about the fact that, first of all, the scientists, twice both movies, why didn't you tell me that? You wouldn't have believed me anyways. So they got to let the guy have his experience, and then the guy, after having experience, pretty much rolls with it. I mean, hey, it's your dead wife. She's here. You sent her out to space in a pod, and she came back again.
But there's still that hesitance. There's that like very, very smart guys not immediately making the right decision.
Well, and that's why I think the Soderbergh version is real blundering.
Knowing
the Solaris from
the
1972. You say, all right, man, you have a head on your shoulders. Even if Clooney is the ticket that everyone's going to buy, don't make him so desperate and drastic about this whole scene, man.
Yeah.
Heavy-handed, I think, is what I called it. But
and that's pretty well put. We received a comment on our. I posted an Instagram.
Comment? Yeah, you didn't tell me we had a comment.
Oh yeah, we got one, man.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a banner day.
I mean, the reader mail I still never get through, but
the all it said was it was from a gentleman on Instagram. Sci-Fi collectible books is the name of the account, and all they do is they post different sci-fi book covers. Pretty good content actually, but I put up a photo of the dueling Solaris posters, and he said, "Blasphemy! This book cannot be adapted." So it's interesting that opinion is out there. That no. Both of them got it horribly wrong.
Well, this goes, when you're not there on the ground, I mean, to watch a movie from 72 when you're, 25 and then 42, you're like, you don't even think about what people were saying, like...
When did the book come out? It was
61.
61?
So then a lot of people think there's a lot of, that's... Mother Russia and each of the scientists are Russian satellites. Like, a lot of stuff that was goofy about it.
Now I'm changing my opinion.
But, yeah.
All right.
It's just another one of those red political smears.
Red fucking plans.
Speaking of that, still waiting for number 3 of the 3 body problem to come in from the library.
Speaking of what? Communism?
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah. I like that. It was a good segue, Kevin.
Yeah. I'm trying. They said work on the segue, so I was thinking that was some of the reader mail.
Does it take place in present day, or is it a communist future as well?
It's in the future by now. I forget, it's a couple hundred years. It starts in the real Cultural Revolution, and then we leap.
And China's still communist, or is it?
What are they?
Not right now. They are, but.
Yeah, no. In that book, I'm a little rusty on it. I don't remember.
What are they again?
But me and the 19 other science fiction fans in Southern California are all on the list for it. There's only 20 copies, so one person has probably stolen it.
15.
That's not you, is it?
No, it's not me.
Okay.
No. 15 now because we probably just lost the 4 listeners that are Chinese.
For the I was going to say for the blasphemy or the Godard.
Both.
Godardation.
Now we're
the
down,
Godardation.
Now we're down to 12.
Of Sci-Fi.
Shit.
Yeah.
Shit,
Well.
man. So, all right, if you like, if you could sum it up, recommend like 1972. I have never seen either of them. Why should I watch? Why should I watch fucking Solaris 1972? 2 hour 47-minute movie.
Because it's cool.
All right. Now why should I watch 2002?
Because you know you have to record a podcast about it next week? Because you're curious after you see how cool the other one is?
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
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 Right.
I hope this was it. This should have been hot content. This was the Solaris Throwdown.
This was the Solaris Throwdown.
Yeah.
I have a feeling we might have lost it a little bit along the way.
They lost what?
They're just the heat.
The heat of it?
Yeah, you know, things usually
Yeah.
don't
These
live up
suits
to the
are
hype.
hot, man.
These suits are really hot,
yeah.
man. We bought these.
Yeah.
We were given these under the impression that they had air conditioning inside of them, just like the Russians did.
Yeah. Yeah.
I kind of wish the Soviet Union. Like, I have designs of Soviet space stations and spacesuits in my head. It had the Soviet Union just continued and the space race just continued to go, and both America and the USSR were just trying to like outdo each other constantly. And I would have loved like the idea of just like Soviet era iPhones built into like the spacesuit, like this big monitor on a guy's gauntlet with wires coming off. It's good. It does GPS, and I punch it in, and then like an air conditioning unit that's just two giant fans. Like,
Because of like the potato camera?
yeah, because of the potato camera.
Yeah,
Like,
it's the Russian 2001. I mean, I'm sure that's soap being swirled in a toilet, filmed with a filter on it.
What do you guys? I think most of the people who saw this movie originally thought they were standing in line for bread. Actually,
Yeah.
they got in like,
Yeah.
I don't know. They show me movie.
Yeah, yeah,
No bread
but
at
no
the end of this movie.
yeah.
And now there go the Russians.
I was about to say,
Shit.
there's a Russian guy.
We know one
He's
Russian
big.
guy.
Yeah.
Oh, well. He's going to have to join the throngs of people that are currently throwing eggs at my house.
Yeah.
Jennifer Fang, Patrick Rothfuss,
We burned someone else recently, too.
Peter F. Hamilton.
Peter F. Hamilton? No, we didn't
We
burn
didn't burn
him.
Peter F. Hamilton?
No, he's hanging loose, man.
He's a good guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Richard K. Morgan staying in there good.
Mhm.
William Gibson coming along.
I got a text from my friend Nick today. He was just a photo of him holding a copy of Burning Chrome. And he said,
Was it my copy, the one you've stolen? Where's my copy of that book, George?
You didn't give me Burning Chrome.
I did give you Burning Chrome. It's an awesome, cool, badass one I found for like $1.
It's here somewhere. I don't know. Probably in the study.
You've told... Yeah, okay. Well,
I know.
let's
must be
open the airlock and go in there and check it out.
But then we need.
Now you're looking
we
at
need
your
the
shelf.
helmets for our
Yeah.
suits. And they
It's
didn't
like
give
that
us the
cooler you
fucking
stole
helmets.
from my wife and I.
Right, yeah, the one with
Yeah.
the serial number scraped off the side of
Yeah.
it. And
Which
the-
is ballsy.
The duct tape handle? Or is
Yeah.
this the one with the full handle intact?
It's the one that should say AJ Foyt Honda.
I've got a
Houston,
cooler.
Texas.
I've got my own cooler, Kevin. And I don't know what's inside of it because I'm afraid to open it.
Because it's growing
It's
some
fucking
major...
gross.
There's some Capri Suns that have bloated in the...
I don't know what exactly went down. All I know is I keep my air mattress folded up inside of it to save space. So the last time we had house guests,
You're
I took
kidding
it
me.
out. I took it out and I had to throw the air mattress away.
Yeah, you bet you
Yeah.
did, man.
'Cause
It
it
was
was filthy.
holding those flavors.
It just looked like you could
Here you go,
cure
father-in-law.
cancer, man.
Have a great night's sleep.
That was my mom.
Here's a can of
It was
Febreze.
actually
That was
on
your
that.
mom? Yeah.
Yeah, and my father-in-law later. You know, we just had a kid.
After you aired it
After I aired it out.
Wait, so did you throw it out? Did your mom had to sleep in it? You threw it out for your father?
Kevin, these details, man, really... These really don't
Not
have
flattering?
to be aired,
Not flattering?
aired in public.
Yeah.
I mean,
Hey, that's okay.
you know, I mean, there was a clean sheet on it,
Mm-hmm.
at least.
Did you keep the sheets in that other cooler?
Yeah, actually,
Yeah.
now that you mention it, I did. Well, Solaris.
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 Yeah.
I think that's it, man.
Yeah.
All right.
Good night, nurse.
Good night. That was terrible.
Hey, George. What's up, Kevin, man? Just wanted to call and say sorry about that last message. I didn't know I had that much intense feelings about those movies. Hopefully at this point we've talked and we've realized that two people can enjoy two iterations of Solaris in one lonely galaxy. Okay, man. Have a good day. Bye.
End of message.